right around the time I got sentenced, Jeremy called me and he's just making small talk. He'd gotten my number from my dad because I'd changed phones since the last time we had spoken, and just random nonsense. I'm working here. I'm doing that. The wife is doing this and that, and then he goes, "You know where I could get some green?" Like he's asking me if I know where he could get some weed, and I'm just like, "Are you out of your fucking mind? Are you out of your fucking mind? Prank caller! Prank caller!
Prank caller! Don't call me again."
Are you calling me on a mobile telephone? It's like that scene from Pulp Fiction. Like I'm like, I'm on trial for my life here, you idiot! You fucking idiot! Like hang up on him. He sends me a text message back later. He's like, I meant collard greens. And I'm like, yeah, I know where an organic fucking vegetable market is, you knucklehead. Yeah, that's what you meant. That'll hold up. Get out of here. No, I don't know where your fucking weed is.
You couldn't have even done like the smarter thing, which is like, no, I was once again asking you for a loan for some green, some money. It's like that.
It was clear what he was fucking asking for, and it was like, first of all, no, I don't know where you get some green, Jeremy.
He made it too obvious. Hey, Kyle, you know where to get some green? Oh, that's some good chronic. You know where to get that?
Dope. Dope, marijuana.
Yeah, marijuana, dope. If you were to contact someone in a different state, who would you contact to have them ship it to me?
Call the U.S. Marshal Service, you piece of shit. Like, call them. They'll hook you right the fuck up. They'll take your passport, your DNA, and they'll hook you right the fuck up.
Dude, what a tone-deaf thing to do, to call your friend that's on probation for it and ask you for weed.
Right. I thought the Trump train would just keep on going, that he'd be a really active
It'll keep on going on.
I think the Trump train, is it derailed? I think
False.
It could be.
No.
Okay,
False.
go on. What are you thinking?
No. Yesterday proved that it's going to keep on going. You think the people that were doing that are like the only people that like felt that way? Like there's tens and tens of millions of people who were like, I wish I was there sitting at Nancy Pelosi's desk. First of all, I woke up late. Like I've been playing a lot of Rust, so like my sleep schedule's fucked. And because I play with a guy from Finland and a guy from Australia, so I got to be on their fucking wavelength. So I didn't wake up until like 5 p.m. And I wake up in my phone.
You missed
the
good stuff.
I look at my phone and it's just every person I know has messaged me. Are you seeing this? DC is nuts. Just one message after another of crazy shit. And I'm like, all right, fucking wake up, like CNN, let's go. And I see it. And it was, look,
wild.
Am I wrong in saying that someone told me today that multiple people died? I'm unaware of that. 4
people died.
Okay. The only person that I was aware of that died at that time was that goofball woman who tried to climb through a window, and DC police or Secret Service, Capitol Police, whatever, shot her in the throat.
Good shooting, bad shooting.
It's a bad shooting, but who else died?
There's a police officer who died, and then 2 others that were complications.
Were
but
there
they
other
didn't release.
shootings?
I don't know.
They didn't.
Were they like heart attacks or something?
That's what it's sounding like.
One police officer supposedly tased themselves and then died of a heart attack.
That we're not counting that. That's not on Trump.
Right. But
no,
there's no way. All right, I just stop the presses for one moment. Do any of us blame Donald Trump and his what he probably
would that have happened if there was no riot?
Dude, that is such an embarrassing way to die.
Yes, if he's stupid enough today to tase himself to death, he was going to be stupid. It was a matter of time.
I'll accept
it. Dude, that is Officer Homer Simpson.
Yeah,
that guy. God, what an embarrassing.
Why didn't you go with Chief Wiggums in that thing? But okay,
Chief Wiggums only shot others.
I only shot others, or whatever. However he sounds. I don't know.
They haven't announced any of the like causes of death of the other 3, as far as I know. But one tweet that I saw said an officer who had a heart attack passed away, and then yesterday I heard a rumor that one officer tased himself. So just take everything with a grain of salt. We only know of the woman who got shot in the throat.
All right,
my mind is 100% made up. I saw the funniest take about it from some just random person where they're like, when it just made me laugh so hard. They're like, it was after they'd already got into the building, and they're like, this is like when you finish a level on a video game and it won't go to the cutscene. And so they're like, we took over is there like a puzzle box or something? We need to find her. Is there one's loading? And I was just like,
they were just roaming around. Yeah,
it's like a dog who caught the mail truck, where they're like, I got it. And it's like, all right, now what?
But I saw this post earlier, and I don't know who that actually is. Like I thought that was.
I've
Kyle,
seen this
that's
photo
the
too.
Old grandma.
Dude, it's just an old lady.
But why is it like? Look at the heading, and it has 40,000 retweets. I thought this was the lady who died.
Yeah,
No,
it was
it's just a nice old lady.
Post. It's a shit post.
Are you telling me
about
this
telling me
tactical
that-
genius overpowered the officers protecting the Capitol? I
Yeah.
can see why maybe you inferred that she was the
I did
lady
infer
who got
that,
shot.
yes.
Yeah, but it wasn't the same person.
Dude, it's a Rain Man type deal. She's like a strategic genius. And she met-
But you got to agree with me. You don't shoot that lady. That lady looks.
no, and she didn't get.
batty.
I don't
she got
think
help.
you
She
I
shouldn't
don't
have
think
shot
they did
anybody.
shoot her.
Shouldn't have
It's
shot
Secret
anyone.
Service.
Shouldn't have charged.
I'm guessing they don't carry
do
tasers,
too.
but tasing would have been really good in that.
Did you see the video of the one single cop with a baton running up flights of
guy?
stairs? Yeah, while
Yeah.
turning around and be like, "Stop on these stairs, I swear!" And then like 30 people turn the corner. He's like, we'll give him another."
Oh, I'll tell you what I did see.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I
Let me
saw
try-
that. What do you do? How do you do better?
I don't know. I don't know
No,
what
he
you
did what he
do there.
could. Like, he
1v30.
Spartan
He's
kick.
like, this is the
Spartan
line.
kick.
Okay, wait.
what?
This is the line.
Yeah.
As long as I
Just
keep
gotta-
saying what the line is, I technically haven't lost.
Like, and you can have Little Wayne if you want.
Oh, hell yeah. I will take that to the bank. I will take Lil Wayne.
Yeah, Little Wayne can't hang with my top pick.
And the rules, once again, were nobody who's actively sick
Mm-hmm.
under 50. And those are the only rules we laid out, right?
And they have to be human. I don't know where you're going with this.
I mean, Air Bud is a celebrity, is he not? Air Bud the Seventh or
You
whatever.
found some sick old fucking dog or something. It doesn't work.
No, they all have to be people.
Mm-hmm.
But what is a person?
And just because you don't know them doesn't mean they're not a celebrity.
Well, I don't know about that.
We'll have to. Tucker will be the judge of who is or is not a celebrity. If we go too deep cut,
Mine
Tucker
would-
will say yes or no.
All right.
All right.
Another guy, Kodak Black. I'm barely
Yeah.
familiar with this.
What
Kodak
is that?
Black isn't gonna die, dude. He's
Uh,
in jail right now.
Oh yes,
This
that
is
helps
just
with your.
place.
I don't
What is
assure
it?
him.
Oh, he's
So,
a rapper in prison. He's gonna be fine. He's popular, probably.
he's a rapper in prison, and apparently all the like Broward County rappers are good choices for death pools.
Yeah, Woody,
That
go
is-
to
that is
go to
not-
go to
that
Kodak
is-
Black's
yeah.
Wikipedia page, his entry, and it says under children greater than or equal to 1. I've never seen a greater than.
Why is his offspring an algebra problem?
Well, he has at least one child. It could be 10, could be 2, we don't know, or just one.
Tucker might be more up to speed on this thing, but apparently Broward County rappers are a good choice in general.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not super into rap in general, but yeah, I mean, that specific group, like I guess that specific area is pretty tough. It'd be like saying like Baltimore City rappers are probably prone to die, which is also very true.
At 50,
Dude, Kyle's whole list is like 50-year-olds.
I'm cutting them close. You know, I figure like that's the way to go. DMX.
Fuck, he was on my list.
Up too late. Should have went first. DMX. I gave you Little Wayne. DMX.
Because you
is mine.
want a DMX. I want a DMX.
I'll trade.
No.
That's funny.
I didn't think so. Nobody's trading Little Wayne for DMX.
Damn it.
So
Okay.
why is DMX
Okay.
a good pick?
Young-ish black man in America. I just and he's appropriate aged celebrity. I don't know. I just feel
Okay.
like he's in that rap game,
Mhm.
and you know, he could easily be shot on the street or have some sort of drug issue or be running with the wrong crowd. Just a lot of stereotypes that I'm just compounding together here to say DMX. Okay, so now the most important part: what is the bet? How does the betting work? What if there are multiple deaths? How much money is on the line?
I'll start it. I'm going to say everyone ponies up $10. It ends when the first person dies.
Yeah, I was going to say, usually the death pool is just first person dies. And because it's under 50, we don't want It should just be one person.
Oh yeah, we shouldn't wait for like someone to get 3 out of 5. That could take 20 years. We will never
have another death pool if we wait for more than one. We may never have another one with this list.
Okay, so $10 each.
Sure.
All right, sounds good.
Have you been playing Rust Destiny? Are you on the Rust train with what seems like every other streamer?
Yeah, there's like a big like cloud server that everybody's on now, and of course I'm jumping on. Well, I really like Rust. I've got like 1,000 hours in it, so when I saw an opportunity to join it, so I'm on that server now.
Yeah,
you're a big Rust player.
I'm getting closer to 2,000 hours now. I've been grinding so hard for the last couple of weeks. It had nothing to do with like the Twitch Rust craze or whatever. Like we started like getting into Rust again like a week before that happened, and I was like, look, I'm a trendsetter. But in reality, it's just like, yeah, it's a great fucking game, and people are like waking up to that, and some streamers are playing it and seeing that it's actually I don't know how they stream it, deal with like. Actually, I do. It's because they're playing on that PvE server. And they're all pretending to play Rust. That's how they stream.
They're all pretend. What do you mean pretending to play Rust?
They have kicked out Pastilli and a few other people for actually playing Rust and shooting people.
Wait, like trying to take over bases? That's the whole point.
No, shooting people. No, yeah, the whole point is, the point is up to you. The point is up to the player, for one thing. Like there's a guy that's playing not with me, but in the same server as me, and I know him. And he's a weed farmer. He does nothing but grow hemp. He has a multi-tiered weed farm where he grows tens of thousands of cloth a day, which is a useful resource. But to me, he's not playing the game.
He's a make-believe weed farmer.
He grows hemp. Hemp is a thing in the game. You can do agriculture indoors. It requires a lot of wiring and plumbing that you have to do in game.
Oh my god, dude, this sounds awful.
No,
he loves it.
There's Minecraft parallels here, and I know people get tired of that, but
yeah,
I know guys who would think that is the most amazing thing. Does he just have building like stacks and stacks of very
multi-tiers? There's timed lightings. Like where the lights come on, the lighting is perfect. He had to selectively pick the genome for the plants and clone them.
That's
like he
really
had to
cool.
He found hemp plants that had ideal genetics and cloned those hundreds and hundreds of times. And he repeatedly plants that clone of hemp because it grows more quickly and produces more cloth, and the water consumption is better.
You're right that he's just pretending to play because this is just a dry run for his own weed farm in his house.
Perhaps. But then there's people like me who really like the grinding aspect and running the monuments. And then once you're established, doing lots of PvP. And then there's people who think that's lame. And all they want to do is fight continuously. And if you're ever hitting a fucking tree, you fucked up and you're a pussy now. Like there's lots of different ways to play the game.
And that's how Pastilli wants to play, and they booted him.
Pastilli wants to like PvP, and they kicked him and 2 or 3 other people for actually PvPing in the server. They're all, in my opinion, they're PvEing. They're like doing some sort of communal PvE, like let's just hang out and pretend to play Rust kind of thing. In my opinion,
this is what you think Pastilli's doing.
Pastilli wanted to actually play some Rust and shoot some people in the Rust server, and they kicked him out.
And you would argue that on this server, it's the unwritten rule is that it's PvE.
It's not even an unwritten rule. They're not allowed to like
for big PvP. Yeah,
I fully admit to buying all the weed I could ever find, but to sell it, that's like that doesn't even compute in my mind. I love weed so much. Like there's no way that you have enough money to buy my weed. That's how much. It's like offering to buy someone's children from them. It's like, all right, we got $1 billion. Well, I would never pay that for a child. I could get a Chinese baby for 50,000. Exactly. I market value of my weed doesn't even approach the value that I place on my weed. So why would I ever sell any weed? I've never had so much weed that I had enough to sell anyway. I've never possessed an ounce. I don't know what an ounce of weed looks like. I've never had more than half an ounce because I thought I was like teetering on some sort of legal scary level by staying under half an ounce. Like when I got busted, it was 14 grams, I think.
Yeah.
An ounce is 28 grams. And like they claim they found some crumbses on some jacketses back at my house. But like, look, I don't think they're lying about that. I'm sure they found something at my house, like some crumbses. But if I'd known I had those crumbses, I'd have smoked those motherfuckers up because I thought I was fresh out. Like there's no way I would have been picking up another bag of weed if I knew there were some crumbs back at home. You don't think I'll smoke the crumbs? I'll make tea out of the stems.
Even if it just makes me feel it's just a little okay for a while.
I used to like clean my bong and get that black goo out of the bottle.
Oh, you were smoking res?
It's like tar, the consistency, like it's sticky. And like if I was
and it starts bubbling.
I would be completely out of weed though. And so like
it's not crazy to smoke tar. You have to understand I was running low.
I was out. and so like I would like take my like water pipe that had the accumulated goo in it, and I would pour water in it, and then I would shake it really hard upside down onto like a plate. And then like just like an old gold miner, I would like rotate the plate so that the water spilled over. And if I did it just right, the goo would stick to the edge of the plate.
What is that process called?
Panning. So I'm in the bathroom panning for goo.
That's not a very good turnout. This is barely get high.
So you've got shake it all out into this plate and then pan for goo. And after a while, you've got like a plate that's mostly dry, but has like black goo all over the rim of it. And I'd be like, baby, it's time to smoke some goo. And she's like, not the goo. And I'm like, that's all we got, baby. We got to smoke the goo. And I take a razor blade and I do like semicircles, pressing really hard to like get all the goo, and then like flick the water off the goo, and then get it in the bowl again, and then re-smoke that goo. And first of all, it's incredibly harsh. I'll admit, like I would cough and it tasted awful, but it gets you so fucking high.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Because it's marijuana concentrate. It's concentrated concentrate, because it's like it's the remainder of smoking concentrate, and it's like been condensed down even more.
So I thought you were talking like so in college, I remember using like that flour, like the goo that would be in the flour if you were just totally out.
This guy did a write-up of what happened to GameStop today. Let me read it. It's about 1.5 minutes, but all right. I'm glad this place is quieted down enough for some actual DD written by a monkey with a keyboard and Adderall. DD? Anyone? I don't know.
I have no idea.
All right. I am that monkey. Here it is, play-by-play. Yesterday, new call option strikes were added all the way up to $570. Do I have to go over gamma squeezes again? Really? We've been over this. When deep out of the money call options start being gobbled up and the price starts moving towards being in the money, the call writers have to hedge their risk of having their sold calls exercised, typically by buying stock. This creates upward pressure on the market, and we've been seeing these movements all week. So people have these rights to buy stock at 570, and as they start being like something people might execute on because the stock's approaching that price, they need to buy shares so that they can cover it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to buy this at 570. It hits that, and they're like, fuck, well, we need shares on hand to make sure that you can have them. Yesterday after market, you saw the coordinated effort to drive down the price and spook retail investors into a mass sell-off. It didn't work. I think that coordinated effort is probably with regards to like TV shows and stuff. Last night, Robinhood sent out a message to users. You could no longer enter into new options. You could exercise them if you had the collateral, money in the account. Very interesting to see the first sign of pants shitting fear. You couldn't buy new options, which means that you couldn't buy options because they didn't want to be forced into a position of having to buy stock to cover your options to buy that stock. Today, the market opened strong. So strong, we were looking at a self-perpetuating gamma squeeze all the way up past 570.
Real quick, is gamma squeeze the same squeeze you explained earlier? Gamma?
I think so, but I'm not positive. Okay. At 9:58 a.m., the stock had reached 468 in a parabolic move. 2 minutes earlier, at 9:56, Robinhood tweeted that they were not allowing users to buy GME stock, but they would allow selling. This has a lot of people upset, right? They were making it so that like they ended demand and only had supply. Mm-hmm. The trend instantly halted. This is the parabolic move to 468, and started the downward collapse before picking up a bit, especially after some retail was allowed back in. Now that we're clear on the facts, understand this. The market ran out of liquidity today, or it was threatening to get close enough that they killed it. What does that mean? It means they ran out of shares and or capital. They wouldn't let you buy new shares because we were burning through all the shares on the market. I saw an unsubstantiated post from a user who said a market sell order executed at 2,600 for him.
What does that mean? Market sell order executed?
That means that he had, he says, if this stock hits 2,600, dump it. And he says it happened for him. Do you get the severity of the situation if that's true? It means that buying was getting to the point where it was just about infinite pressure on the price of shares. It means virtually any ask was getting bid. How do you get infinite upwards pressure? A gamma squeeze triggering the mother of all short squeezes, just like we predicted. The call writers needed shares to hedge. This is a call option, right? I have the right to buy this stock at 560. And they need to have stocks on hand because I already purchased the right to buy it. Retail is still buying more. The short sellers need over 100% of the float back. They add these together. There were more shares needed than existed on the open market. That's what a liquidity crisis is. Listen to this, and then it's a link to an audio file. Remarkable interview of the chairman of Interactive Brokers admits that they didn't have the capital to pay out the winners, us. So they took their ball and they went home. Do you grasp how insane it is that he said they needed to shut down buy orders to protect the market? Hello? He's not talking about the market for GME shares. He's talking about the entire market, the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, all that. Remember the movie Snowpiercer? Do you remember the scene when the lower class people realize the soldiers who oppose them have no bullets? It kickstarts a full-blown rebellion. They have no bullets. It's the exact same in this market. No capital, no shares, infinite losses. Too long didn't read. Would you skip to the bottom to say, do I get my tendies now? Tendies are chicken tenders or gains. The answer is this. They need your shares. Do you get that? Hold. Just like the guy in the movie where they scream, they're out of bullets, and create a stampede. That's how we win.
He brings it up twice.
They need your shares so badly that they literally risked prison time to get them. They tried robbing you, and I'm not even exaggerating. They were within 30 seconds of getting wiped out today. That guy, I don't know how much of that is true. That's probably 80% bullshit.
I have not been able to do any of the things that I wanted to do. I made so many plans in prison, Woody. Okay. I'm so looking forward to October. You have no idea how long I've been looking forward to this being over. I can remember like a week or two after I got arrested, which is like 4 fucking years ago or 5 years ago or whenever it was.
Were you in your 20s back then?
Yeah.
Yeah. When was the arrest? What year was that?
I don't even know. I can
probably find it.
2016, 2017?
It's probably on the internet somewhere.
Yeah, it might be. You never know.
It says August 2017. So 3.5 years ago.
I can remember being in my bathroom at my old house, taking a piss, and just saying to myself, this was going to pass. This will all be over eventually. There's a lot of hoops and hurdles, but no matter what happens, there is a future within the next 5 years where I'm high as fuck, and it's coming. It's coming. And I have held on to that little thought that I had taken a piss in the bathroom 4 years ago or whatever it was for the last 4 years. Every hoop and hurdle that I've jumped through, from fucking surrendering to U.S. Marshals and getting DNA tested and appearing in federal courtrooms and state courtrooms and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on legal defenses and like being in a prison in fucking Alabama and like taking prison showers and like getting out and getting piss tested every week and going to fucking court mandated therapy sessions. Like every step of the way, I've just been like,
this sounds so awful. You're stressing me out talking.
This is weed. This was weed, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was weed.
Like, bro, what a waste of fucking money.
It was half an ounce
what
of
a
weed.
waste of fucking money. All that shit for some, like, how dumb is that? Like, I'm actually getting mad hearing you talk about it. Like, weed, like, how fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. Like, that's so dumb. Oh my God.
Well, I'm glad it all happened because it's a hilarious story. Everything I've done in my life, I wanted it to be interesting. Like I don't like periods of my life that are just boring. Like there's some periods of my life where I'm like, shit, nothing happened. It's like, there's some TV shows where you're like, nothing really happened between seasons 2 and 3. That's kind of how my life was for a little while. I was like, I didn't really do anything between seasons 2 and 3.
Season 2 Walking Dead. Bullshit.
Yeah, like that was a boring season. We're in like season 7 or 8 right now, and crazy shit's been happening, right?
Here.
Oh yeah, that was the season he went to prison. Oh yeah, that was a crazy season, right? With Snow. Snow was in that season. Cool. Like
the cruelest thing is you didn't get to get high for like the entire Trump presidency.
Yes. That's the worst thing. Yes.
Worst thing. Yeah. Obviously I'm joking. But have you thought about writing a book?
Maybe. I got to do some more interesting stuff though. I got to do another interesting thing.
What if I ghostwrite an autobiography for you? And there's a lot of gaps in your life. I don't know. I can fill them in.
Just fill them in.
They'll be full of exciting things.
There will be no bad seasons.
Like there's no way he was a Vietnam vet.
There I was. Charlie was everywhere.
I was minus 14 years old.
Yeah.
Different time.
No, I think I think that I could write a few chapters of a good book because like I've done some crazy shit and I've met some crazy people and done some nutty stuff and had some weird experiences, and there's been some cool ups and downs, which is what I would want in my life. Like I'm glad that this all happened to me. I really am, because I think it's interesting. And I enjoy living an interesting life. Like when I tell people, I know so many people have these boring ass fucking lives where it's just 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, retire, die. And it's like, you didn't go to prison once, bro. Like, so this black lady makes this like, I don't know, like Instagram live video, something like that. And she's like, so I ran out of she's got some sort of black people hair treatment that like keeps your hair in place. And she's got one of those hairstyles where like,
the viewers
it's like pulled tight. It's like pulled tight and sort of brushed to the side, kind of like what I've got going on. But then, long ponytail of what I assume is some poor Indian woman's hair who had to sell it for food. And she's like, I ran out of my like stick it spray, that keeps my hair like in place and everything. So I thought maybe some Gorilla Glue would be the trick. Now, for those of you out there who are maybe not American or maybe not like familiar with hardware, Gorilla Glue it's not super glue. It's more akin to like a bottle of liquid tree sap. It's really good to like glue 2 pieces of wood together. It would be okay for like model building, I suppose. Like if you're doing carpentry, I bet it would work well. It is very strong. It hardens like as hard as a rock. Like if you could like put this stuff in a mold that looked like a blade, you could have a functional knife made out of like hardened Gorilla Glue.
Yeah. As a ex-carpenter type guy, glues in my mind break down to basically 2 kinds. They either harden like glass or they harden like rubber, roughly. And this one hardens like glass.
Yeah.
Like it's brittle. It hardens so hard.
And there are warnings up and down this bottle saying like, call a fucking doctor if you get this on your hand. You get it in your eyes, don't get it in the other one or you're fucked. Like covered in warnings. Like there is no
I want Taylor to write all warning labels going forward.
There is absolutely no
Thank God you have 2 eyes. If you don't have 2 eyes, don't touch this product.
But there's no world in which you can see this and perceive it as like anything but glue. It says spray adhesive in the picture she's holding up.
Yeah, and like, so she like puts that in her hair and like does her like brush to the back type thing.
Looked pretty good to me. I mean, I'm not an expert in especially black women hair.
It looks awful.
Yeah, really? To me, it looked like it. I keep using this phrase, but it looked like she hit the bullseye she was targeting, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong.
That's not much of a target she's shooting at. I don't know.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to say anything that could be perceived the wrong way. That's not the hairstyle.
Certainly using the idea that you were playing a character on PKA when you brought that up earlier. That was not the case. I thought
I'm always playing a character here. Yeah, but even my character knows where to step aside. I don't like the hairstyle that she's going for. It looks I don't know. It looks like a man's hairstyle. Like I don't know. I like if the lady's got like more volume going on.
I
And you
can't
could,
tell
like,
what she is going for because her hair is glued down. It's so shiny. There is no distance between all of her hair and her scalp.
So in the video, she's
is
like,
she balding here?
yeah, that's the other thing. Like certain people have
like a receding hairline.
Yeah, it's bad. It's like she's got like a huge bald spot like up here. Anyway, she's like, yeah, so I thought maybe this Gorilla Glue stuff would do the trick. You know, it would hold my hair in place. Y'all, I have washed my hair a dozen times. And she goes, and her hair goes slap, 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 like you're hitting a bald head. Like it's just like flap, flap, flap of like flesh hitting flesh.
Like ceramic.
And she's like, my hair don't move, y'all. My hair don't move. And it's like, yeah, no shit. You put carpentry glue on your head.
Have you guys been following these Texas like power outages and snow and stuff?
Yeah. So can I
you want to lay it out?
What I want to do is do what I always do and like lay out my ignorant like viewpoint of what's going on, because I haven't been following it super closely, just like the periphery of it. And I want you to inform me, because I think in that way I'll represent like the audience, and then you can explain it to me. I think that's kind of fun. So like what it looks like to me. So for those who don't know, Texas has their own power grid, right? Like the United States, especially for those of you who are international, might not know this. So like we have a few power grids in the United States. There's like, I think there's like East Coast, and then the whole West Coast, and then Texas. Texas is like, we do our own power here. And Texas had this unseasonably cold weather, and the power grid failed. Like they got snow in Texas, which is very unusual. And if you really don't know U.S. geography, Texas is fucking huge. It's bigger than a lot of European countries. It's fucking huge. And when it went down for a couple days, that is, it was seen as a huge failure by like leadership and the power grid. And it's made Texas look bad. Texas is, of course, a mostly conservative-ran, southern-ish state, though it's leaning more purple these days because of the Latino vote. But what it looks like to me is that the right wing, I should say, conservative side of things, is saying that the grid failed because things like wind turbines failed during the cold snap, that it got so cold that their wind turbines failed, and somehow that caused a cascading power loss. Whereas the left, the liberal side, is saying this whole thing failed because of right-wing conservative leadership and because Texas needs its own power grid. Like, and so I'm wondering, Woody, like, I'm sure you've got a right down the middle sort of like factual thought process on this. What's the truth?
It's 90-10. So 10% of the outages are caused by windmills, and 90 is caused by natural gas. So the natural gas pipelines, apparently they can freeze, and then the gas stops flowing. So they're primarily a gas state, a natural gas state. They have it locally, and that's how they power everything. So they posted up like, what it is the governor, non-Americans. Governor is like president of a state, and he went on Fox News and said, man, this is what happens when the Green New Deal takes hold. These wind turbines fail, and we run out of power, and people freeze to death. There are people dying. And the left is like, oh, hold up. 10% of this is caused by windmills. 90% is frozen natural gas pipes. And the Green New Deal is just an idea. It's never been passed. It's just proposal. You're acting like the Green New Deal caused this. And in reality, the Green New Deal could be a solution to this. You know,
so
Canada operates windmills at negative 47-degree temperatures. So
is it basically because like they, like being Texas, they don't have any of the fail safes for like uber cold weather?
So North Carolina, for example, sucks at snow removal. They have just found it to be not very cost efficient to keep that kind of equipment around, because we get snow that needs removing once every 10 years. Well, Texas didn't insulate their pipes like I guess they should have, and it seems like every 10 years or so. Like I remember I saw this thing today. There was an article 10 years ago saying this never happens the last time it happened 10 years ago. And it referenced it happening, like it hasn't happened for 10 years. And then that referenced 10 years before that. It's not clockwork. Some of these are like 13 and some are 8. But Every 10 years or so, Texas gets this cold.
When I was in the police station, they were like, well, this, and that. And I was like, that's all very interesting. Lawyer. Well, but there's this thing here where this, that, and that, and the other. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that. Lawyer. Like, you think we're gonna have a conversation here? Yeah. You think you could be like buddy with me right now? You think because you brought me a Snickers, I'm gonna start talking to you about what just happened? He did.
He comes out with like a pot leaf, was still in his cop outfit, got pot leaf do rag on. Yeah, I know all these other cops are crazy.
He's dressed like Prison Mike from The Office with a purple bandana.
Man, the rest of these motherfucking cops are squares, y'all. Right? he's rubbing shoulders with you. Hey, man, I got a little gummy for you right here. I'm gonna take a pot gummy out of the hand of a cop in a police station.
Yeah,
that'd be funny.
Even the local cops were like, I was like, hypothetically, if there is marijuana in that bag when the warrant gets here, what are they gonna do to whoever's it is?
What are you gonna do to that guy at the train station that threw this at me violently and said, "Hold on to this until I get back"?
Let's just say I literally said that. I was like, hypothetically, if there is some sort of marijuana in that bag,
God forbid,
what are you gonna do to the guy whose marijuana it actually is when you find him? Like, probably not much of anything, you know. like the local cop was like, fine, maybe some community service.
Okay,
like,
did he believe that, or was playing you?
He won't be worrying about it no
more.
No,
it was when it went. Things just kept escalating, you know. Like if I could have dealt with the local police, I'd have gotten a fine and some community service, you know. Like, but the thing just kept escalating until I was in a U.S. federal district courtroom.
So you think that the guy who said maybe just a fine, no big deal, wasn't playing you? He was just
no. I know that guy. I actually know him. Like I've had dealings with him before. Like he knows me. Like he knows my family. Like I'd see him out and be like, hey, what's up? Your name? And hey, what's going on, Kyle? Yeah.
So he wasn't trying to fool you. He was a local guy who genuinely thought, it's not going to be the end of the world.
Yeah, because when he normally catches someone with half an ounce of marijuana, they don't go to federal prison.
No, certainly not. You're a VIP.
I'm a VIP.
Yeah, very imprisoned person.
Very imprisoned person. I was one step behind you there. I was, and my brain was going.
That kind of sounds like fun going to a welding class. We didn't have shop or anything like that.
Oh, I took welding every semester, all the way through high school. I should be a master welder.
How are you at welding?
I could stick two pieces of metal together just fine.
That's the job.
I can MIG weld much better than anything else, but I can stick and TIG. I picked up enough, but you wouldn't want me like welding something you wanted people to look at.
That's about where I am. I can't TIG though, so I'm almost there maybe.
What does that mean?
Yeah, TIG welding is you've got in one hand you've got a torch and but it's not a flame. It's you've got like you hook a what looks like a jumper cable attachment to your workpiece, and then this thing shoots this arc of plasma. And then in your other hand, you have this like very thin piece of metal, this rod that you use to like it melts as and you're able to do really intricate stuff. It's usually, in my experience, it's for really intricate stuff and aluminum in particular.
Does it like melt instantly when it touches the plasma? I bet
pretty instantly. Yeah, that's something you adjust based on the gauge of the media and the heat of the torch. But yeah, I'm not much of a welder, but I took 8 semesters of welding.
At least it's a cool class that's offered, like welding. That's neat.
Don't imagine that there was a welding class taught, because I feel like you're imagining like all of us sitting in desks and a welding teacher being like, today we're going to learn this. That never happened once in 8 semesters.
Well, then what's welding class?
Welding class is the welding teacher's side hustle, where he has student labor build cattle trailers and then sells them to people. Like there's like 3 or 4 guys who might have an interest in like welding in the future, and those guys can weld, and so they're free labor. They're building him a cattle trailer. They're all over this thing. It looks like a work site that you would see in the like when they're building the Empire State Building with all the men, like everybody's working hard. Yeah, he's got like 3 or 4 fucking 16-year-old dudes in their Carhartts just fucking welding this shit up.
Was everyone okay with them having a side hustle and getting money in their pocket? Okay.
Oh yeah. They all did it. So in a row, you had automotive. We called it metals, but it's welding. And then construction, which is shop. Shop class made gazebos and garden sheds. And metals made cattle trailers and a few other little things similar to that. $10,000 items. And then automotive did oil changes for people and small repair. And they were all profiting through student labor.
I never took any of those. I was so jealous. I almost didn't graduate because of that. My father, he would see like, oh, you could take accounting. Why would you take metalworking or woodworking when you could take accounting instead? So I do that. And there was another one called like business fundamentals and accounting too. It just went on. And I got these extra like academic courses. And in my senior year, they're like, you're not going to graduate. You have to take one of these things. So they slipped me in photography. But yeah, it was actually kind of a neat course. The teacher hated me for good reason. But I never had those things. I remember my accounting teacher used to roast all the other teachers. And in like a self-deprecating way. She'd be like, I don't know why I became an accounting teacher. This is the worst kind of teacher. I have to actually teach you guys. I give you work that comes back to me and then I have to grade it. So after I work here, I have to work at night, working more, and I don't get paid very much. I could have been a gym teacher. And then she does this. She leans back, puts her feet on the table and says, run those laps. She's like, that could have been my job. You don't see gym teachers grading at night. Mr. Mulvaney over there, he's a casino dealer in Atlantic City at night. You know what I'm doing at night? Grading your papers. I could be making double money too. And we thought it was hilarious. We all loved her rant. Although as an adult,
you didn't account for that, did you? Oh.
As an adult, I'm like,
most competent accountants work for an accounting firm.
You're roasting all your coworkers.
And I'm annoyed that you pay $0.25 to get a shopping cart there. It's like, God damn it, you're squeezing me from every
pay
angle.
Or temporarily pay?
Yeah, you just put it in there and then you plug it back in and you get the quarter out.
That's right. That's the thing.
It's to keep people from being like shopping cart goblins who leave it in the middle of the parking lot like a fucking asshole.
And it's so they don't have to pay a shopping cart guy.
Yeah, true. And they don't just like pay a bagger person. It's like you bag your own shit. They don't give you bags. You have to bring your own stuff. I don't play
that shit. So I just had a bunch of slugs made. So I'm just leave the cart tipped over on its side in the parking lot. Leave the slug in the machine.
Like
a real spot.
Like a real piece of shit. It's funny you say that.
In a handicap spot.
There's like a meme about like the shopping cart test. And it's like, it was some like 4chan post of someone being like, the shopping cart is the ultimate test of whether or not you're a good member of society. Think about it. You have nothing to gain by returning it. You will not be punished by not returning it. The only thing to keep you returning that cart is because you like to have a bit of order at the place. And so, you're the kind of person who returns the cart knowing that you won't be punished if you don't, you won't be rewarded if you do. You're someone who, you'll function in a society pretty good. You're a Kyle over here where you just say, fuck the quarter and you just fire it into someone's tailgate, across the way. He can't, he doesn't belong in society, basically.
That's right.
Yeah. He's a nefarious.
I return the shopping carts to a point. Like,
you got to return shopping carts. That's so rude.
Sometimes they're just out of place. They don't have a like corral anywhere near you, and like it's either it's just way too far to walk. Like,
I'm with Kyle. I think of myself as a good member of society, and I return shopping carts most of the time. But sometimes I'm like I don't know. Like if you have a good spot at Home Depot, you can either walk all the way back to Home Depot with your cart, or you senselessly walk just as far away from Home Depot to get the corral. You know how Disney World did that study where they're like, people on average will walk 27 feet before they throw their trash away. So they make sure that every can is 25 feet apart. Yeah. So you always, bump into one. if the shopping corral, I guess I'll call it, is too far away, then this is partly your design decision. And I will put the shopping cart in a spot that seems out of the way, but not all the way back.
So disappointed in you guys.
I'm a job creator, huh? I'm a job creator over here.
No, you're saying you're putting it somewhere out of the way. I guarantee you're taking those front 2 wheels and you're just putting it on an island in the middle of it.
Sounds out of the way to me.
That's what you're doing.
Hey, that's something though, right? Like I've seen people just sort of like sit it there like the last Jenga block in a fucking tower, ready to roll. Like as soon as they're driving away, it's starting that downhill fucking roll right into somebody's Mercedes.
Well, I guess it's not as bad as that, but still.
What if I just flip it on its side so it can't cause any problem?
That's
Taylor, are you telling us you always return it?
Or just take a step back and like drop kick it over on its side. It's like,
as the guys coming to collect it,
and hop in my car.
As the guys coming to collect it, you just look at them and just push it up.
I return it as long as it's even within the realm of being convenient. Like if it's like if I can see the corral from where I'm standing, I'm gonna put it in that corral. But I'm not walking all the way across the parking lot, and I'm not walking all the way back in the store usually.
Taylor, do you always return the cart? You are over there high and mighty on top of your marble throne, looking down at us as if you've never left a shopping cart anywhere but in the corral.
I don't think I've not returned a shopping cart in 15 years.
That's damn.
I think every single time, every time as an adult I've used a cart, I've returned it.
Taylor's out there collecting other people's carts and returning them. At this point, he's
I've done that.
Well, the real thing is I'm just trying to make money, collecting the fucking carts and returning them at the front for the fucking cash. Can't afford to feed my kiddies.
When you think about gathering a cart on the way, I might be a net neutral.
Same.
Okay, I'll give you guys net neutral.
And when I do put them in the corral, I don't just like throw it in there. Like I'll compress them all together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Even if I remembered a time where I didn't return the cart, I'm in so deep I could never admit it. You said it called NeckbeardNests.
NeckbeardNests. It makes me feel better about my sometimes, I guess.
Oh my God. This guy's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, it appears to be empty 12 packs of Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yep.
All over.
The monitors too. It's covered.
Yeah.
Is that, I can't tell, is that Pabst Blue Ribbon on the table? Okay.
Oh, those are probably PB. Oh my God. 10 all time. That's the most beer cans I've ever. This is just a bunch of alcoholics, isn't it?
If you go to all time, it is scary.
That's what I'm at. 10 all time.
Yeah.
Been on it says at the title. Been on a 6-month binge, sobered up, and this is my drinking room. Whoa. Damn, that's sad.
Let's see here.
How can you tell it number 10? Oh, I found it.
Yeah.
There's one. I'm not sure if it's going to pop up in the top, but there's one where there is a literal syringe on a bed with no sheet, and the bed, it has like a hole in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it appears burnt. The bed appears burnt. Hopefully I can find that one, because that one's fucking doozy.
Yeah, I'm looking. It's this guy, at least it's a bunch of waters.
Yeah, that's
like
healthy.
You're just really wasteful, and
it gets sad when they describe it as a depression nest.
Oh,
like it makes me see it through a different lens. Like, oh,
for sure. Like especially the ones with booze all over the place. It's like no one drinking that much is happy. Like someone drinking that much is incredibly depressed.
Oh yeah, for sure. My God, I'm seeing some of these where like mine was never that bad. In my defense, like what is it? The 6-month binge post, like that. Mine wasn't that bad.
Was yours ever like depression related? You think that you were in a bad space?
Maybe. I think it was more so that period of time where I got really fat. It was more so than depression. There were bouts of that, but that was caused by me getting so fat, I think, and not I think the other way around.
Good.
So, like, if you weren't a running back seems like a punishing position to me.
It's the
It seems
hardest
like you're
position to play.
it seems physically punishing though, right? Like I see those guys get hit and they naturally do that thing where they just pop back up and look at the guy that hit them and they're like, you didn't hit me hard. I didn't even feel that. And then they like limp back to the fucking
Bro,
huddle.
I literally
like, God
that.
damn, he hit
I
me
had
hard.
one of those. I had one of those. So the hardest hit I've ever been hit was by Clint Session. I'll never forget this dude. It was by Clint Session 2010. And we was playing in Indianapolis Colts. And I'm going up the middle, and he's small. He was like 5'7", 5'8". He was real small. And so I'm a taller running back, so I run upright. He comes and he puts his helmet right in my chest. Literally couldn't breathe for like 3 seconds. I was like gasping for air. And he's standing over me. He was like, yeah, motherfucker. I pop up. I was like, man, you a bitch. That shit ain't hard. I was like, woo, just talking all kind of shit. And I went back to the huddle like, I cannot fucking breathe, dog. Oh my God. But you can't let him know. I remember
You thought that hurt me. I'm not even
yeah. The only breath I could muster was to talk shit to him. I remember 2011, we was in the preseason. It was the fourth preseason game where like the starters don't play, right? And I was on the sidelines, and it's like the third team, like right, the cats that are like on a bubble that might even make the team are playing. And I'm watching from the sidelines, and I'm looking at it like, yo, they are hitting. It's like, God, I'm looking. I've never seen it from that perspective because I'm always playing or I'm on a bench, just kind of trying to gather my thoughts or whatever. And so I'm watching it, and they're going at it, and like there was a team doctor standing by me, and I was like, yo, do we be hitting like that? And he's like, oh yeah, it's much worse though. I was like, God, when you in it, you don't really feel it because I mean you got adrenaline and all kind of shit going on. But it's like I was looking for the side, like, yo, this is violent.
I might retire. This sucks.
Cecil might think you're a murderer. I don't think we've.
I am. That's what it is.
No.
Yeah. No. It's I got arrested for possession of marijuana like 3 or 4 years ago. And I did a little time in federal prison for it, and now I'm serving the last of my 2 years of federal probation for marijuana possession. So I get drug tested somewhat regularly. So someone asked, what the drug test like looks like. So I saved it. I saved my P cup, and it looks like this. It's just this little jar. It says drug test cup, and it's just like the thing you like check your pool water with.
Yeah.
You see all those lines there.
It shows up right away.
Yeah, almost instantaneously. I'm gonna try to like.
Yeah.
So like up here, these solid things, the blue, the orange, the things I'm touching are different drugs. And I'll read them off in a moment. Down here, you either get a positive or a negative, just like a birth control test. And this is sort of a guide for that down here. That's what that is. If there's 2 lines, obviously I don't have it. I realize this one is a little faint, but there are 2 lines there, I promise. Because I'm here, not in federal prison or in lockup somewhere. But the drugs tested are amphetamine, MDMA, which I think is like ecstasy, stuff like that. Benzos, THC, MOP, which I don't know what that is describing. I'm Oxy, which I'm guessing is like OxyContin stuff like that, and meth, MET, which I'm pretty sure is like methamphetamines.
MOP is morphine.
Ah, good call. Excellent. Good to know.
Should be more MOR.
So yeah,
that.
So yeah, that's the deal.
It's sometimes written as MOP/MOR.
Yeah, it should be MOR. Oh, we're gonna use the silent P, the F sound P. Dicks.
So yeah, and he also had like a secondary thing he like dipped in there. I don't ask questions, but I'm sure it was some sort of
one more
secondary. Drug. Yeah, one more thing on top of whatever this is.
I'm sure part of you, like every time you take those and you see all the drugs, you're like, whew, I'm glad I only ever had a thing for pot and not these like real deal, hardcore ones.
These all sound good.
I'm sure they're all fun, but like
like never done any meth. But as I look down the line, like amphetamines sound great. I loved Adderall. I still have a prescription for Adderall. The only reason I don't take it is because I don't want to have to deal with this. I had to be like, oh, just so you know, I'm going to test positive for methamphetamine because I take these. that would be fine. But I just don't want to add any complications.
Kind of like,
you know?
like some things like that. The haircut I have, even though it's not the government, you know, it's still a form of the man. Some moves I don't like. Some things I don't like. Where I'm like, no, I'm with you on a lot of things, man. You know, fuck, put a tracking device in me. I'm cool, man. 5G, whatever. But this, my hair, nah, not that.
Not the hair.
Telling me to stay inside? No, you can't. You can't even go move your car. If you people get tickets, they go move their car like after 9:30 p.m.
That's like extortion.
How would you
move your car and they give you a ticket if you don't move it? That's trash.
How would you feel about some sort of a badge or something you wore that indicated you had been vaccinated?
Ooh.
Well, he's
what do you
Jewish.
mean? Oh, they make you wear that?
No, I'm asking.
I was gonna say the flip. Like, if they're like, yeah, you have to wear a yellow arm badge if you're not vaccinated. I feel like that's even worse because it's like a sign that like you don't have, like you're not allowed to be there. And then people are looking at me. I got a yellow arm badge. They're like, he's got a yellow badge. Don't let him in here. You're not allowed in here. You can't come in. Then I feel like it's like
they would have to pick a different. They'd have to pick a different color and definitely not a star. They'd be like, no, it's a circle.
The
now.
star of vaccination.
it's a
not for yeah. I think it's like it's definitely there's so many weird questions.
Like vaccination pass.
It's weird, isn't that?
You know, like if you want to travel freely from country to country, you should be vaccinated.
Dude, that's given the government way too
much. Not a physical.
Know what buildings I'm going into, my day-to-day like schedule.
No, not that. Not. What if it's just like your actual passport, right? The one that the U.S. Marshals are holding.
Now I need to use it to go to the grocery store. I need to use it to go to a bar. I need to use it to go XYZ.
You don't need to, but like, what if your passport, like literally you have a passport. You probably have a passport. I've got a passport, but like I said, the U.S. Marshals are hanging on to it right now.
Chicago, yeah.
What if there was a second page in my if I ever want to go to Chicago again? What if there was a second page?
It took me a second to process that.
There's a second page in my passport book that says vaccinated. And like, if I want to go somewhere, I can be like, aha, got one of these. And be like, oh, right through here, sir. Just like the quick
but look
pass.
at how like if you're talking about different countries, I totally get that.
No. I'm talking about fucking the most mundane places.
Oh, dude, you can't.
I'm not saying you. No. Hang on.
Patriot Act. You can't give them this amount of power.
I'm not saying that you don't allow people to come in unless they're vaccinated. I'm saying it's just like, all right, so I got an easy pass here in Atlanta. I get to drive in a special lane. I've got the quick pass at the airport. I get to go around security. This would be something above and beyond what the average person would have, and it would be like a little quick pass for me through life.
It won't be though. Like it's just really letting they'll say, "Oh, we want to track you for COVID." It's like, no, they want to track you for a million different reasons, and they would overextend just like they did. Yes, it is. If they're discerning and scanning every time you go into an establishment somewhere.
You didn't say any of that.
Go to the grocery store. When does he? Well, but that's what you're saying. You're saying that
I don't. I'm not saying that. I've got an ID in my pocket, a driver's license. Same thing.
But I think this is the point. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but you are tracked right now everywhere you go, all the buildings you go to. That information is available.
Yeah. But and it is available. The government still has to go through steps to get that from AT&T, from Verizon, whatever. And this is just make it easier. I don't even
know. Are you sure? I'm totally not a conspiracy theorist at all. But I do believe that the government knows exactly where I am, and they really don't have much pushback to find that out. I thought that was the whole the beginnings of the whole Edward Snowden shit was just that they have that information that's available to them. I've assumed that they do know where you are, they do know what you're doing, they always have that. I feel like in the whole war against Big Brother, we totally lost that before we even realized we were at war with that.
I feel like January 6th terrorist attacks on the Capitol, the riots, they used their phones to determine who went inside.
Yes, they did. And so I'm not saying that they can't ascertain all this information if they want it. They obviously can. It's the government, very powerful. But we don't want to easy track this kind of shit. Don't make it easy for the government to do that. Look at what happened with the Patriot Act. Well, we're gonna get rid of those terrorists in Iraq. It's like, oh, oh, so you're not going to surveil Americans forever. Oh, no, you are. So like, don't give these fucking bastards any more leeway to track us or do any invasions of our privacy than they already have.
We've got a death pool going. We did it on January 1st, Tucker, and I picked DMX in mine.
DMX is going to give it to you.
I was I was here when you guys chose your death pool. I was at that episode.
Okay.
So I was thinking about and DMX is I mean,
it's a
brain dead.
Yeah, technically. What if you get a Terry Schiavo case?
That's what I said, and they were like, yeah, when they bury him, then we pay you. And I'm
right.
like,
I mean,
or
I guess
autopsy or something,
yeah,
right? They need to be prepared to bury or autopsy. That
he's gonna be actually dead.
Yeah, literally can't be on life support.
He doesn't even, the second they unplug him and then you wait 30 seconds and it goes beep, then you get your money.
If he can fog a mirror, you don't get any money.
Yeah.
Wait, with ventilator or without ventilator, though? I mean, semantics here.
I hear you.
We're holding on to. He won the last one, so we're going to come up with anything to hold on to.
And he's still alive in my heart.
Really great choice.
Like Navalny or Navalny, whatever his name is, and I think that Kyle's got a better chance than you, Woody.
Yeah, I do.
Because Putin may just keep this guy
in the
locked
gulag
up and be like, oh, he's still sick. No, I could show you a photo of him from yesterday holding the paper. He's alive. He's alive, but you'll never see him again. Sorry. Like,
yeah. He could be dead, and I could still lose this death pool.
That's
you
true.
will not
conceivably.
I was gonna say you will probably not find out that he is dead anytime soon if he is actually dead. I would be more surprised if I'm kind of surprised they didn't just keep him alive and not sick. You know what I mean? Just like, here, he's in the prison cell. We treat him really good, you know?
That's what they say they're doing.
Like,
yeah, I don't know. Everyone was sure they were going to kill him, but I always felt like when he got captured that he was more likely to live. That the killing happens out in the wild, you know? He could have got that poison from anywhere.
Yeah, or maybe just like
hit and run,
pumping him for information, like any other connections that he had.
Stopped working.
Wait. It's funny that Bofors gun that I shot. It had a Ducati motorcycle engine to power the turret. That was fucking cool.
What?
What
do you mean? Can you walk me through it? Because I don't understand how you'd use a motorcycle engine to power a turret.
So like the gun sits on a tripod and you sit inside the gun. Like it's like one of those, like you're sitting on a chair inside the gun,
right?
And you've got a joystick to control it. Now, if like your engine isn't working, you can go manual controls and you can turn a wheel that goes up and down and a wheel that goes left and right. And with just minimal effort, you're rotating thousands of pounds of gun in any direction. But it's also got a Ducati motorcycle engine on the bottom that you kickstart that thing and it's just powering the joystick. So you can just
cool.
Like a video game. And you're swinging what's like a 12-foot long barrel hard enough to knock someone's fucking head off when you're like, I started getting it going round and round and they're like, hang on tight. If you fly out of there and it gets locked into go mode, that tank's full of gas. Like there's no stopping it.
That's cool.
The AR guy versus AK guy. It's like watching.
Sorry to hear that.
It's like getting really into a subreddit on a niche hobby that you don't get yet. And like after you get to like page 3, you're like, I get the jokes. Like,
right.
Like I get what's happening. Like I watched the first episode and I'm like, okay, I get it. So like AR guys wear scarves and like talk about stats, and AK guys are like, let's go shoot things for cheap and have fun. And like, this was just total impulse purchase, like thought. I just started looking right after watching that video. I'm like, what kind of AK could I buy if I really want an AK? And so I wanted to ask you, I don't have an AK. If I wanted to buy one, what kind? Where do I look? Treat it like I don't know a thing.
So American stuff is usually pretty shit. Like not American built stuff, but like American fully made here. They cut a lot of corners. They do a lot of casting, a lot of just really dog shit manufacturing because they're like, oh, it's cheap Russian shit, whatever. The Russians and the Soviets took that shit very seriously. Like they have very high end like forgings and it's very strong metal and everything. And not getting too technical, like a lot of the overseas stuff, like Arsenal, very good brand. Arsenal, Bulgaria, Saigas, all the Russian shit's really, really good. Then you get American shit, which is like, oh, it'll detonate after 2,000 rounds if you're using hot ammo. It's like, yeah, that's not awesome.
I bought an American AK. I didn't know any better.
Oh,
dude, I was like, ooh, it's an AK, but it's American. So, you know,
twice as good.
Yeah, I'm like double good. No, it's more like multiplying to negatives or something. I don't know. I think I fucked that. Let's say it's not like that at all.
I don't know. I was
opposite of multiplying two negatives.
great students, so you're out of my take.
maybe the Americans are positive. I don't
multiplying
know.
one negative.
But in any case, it sucks. It jammed all the time. I think I asked Kyle to look at it. He didn't have a solution. I'm not sure about that. I definitely took it to a gun store and was like, "Hey, this is like, do you want it as a trade-in? I hate this gun." And they're like, "No,
You're an excellent salesman."
Yeah, well, I didn't. Yeah, good point. So anyway, my gun sucks. They suggested removing some piece of rubber to make it maybe better.
Oh no, you have an IO.
I do. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, honey.
Is that a really tough one to have?
Awful. I've actually toured their facility and they threatened to sue me after the video I made.
Really?
One of my earliest videos on YouTube. It's just awful.
Is there any way to make it not misfire?
You can send it to me. I can completely demill it and replace all of the parts and rebuild it, and then it might work correctly.
So he'll make you a new gun and send that new gun back.
We could probably save like the furniture and the trigger.
I don't like the furniture.
Well, we could definitely save the trigger group and the screw.
Kyle gave me better furniture, and I decided that the AK wasn't worthy of the furniture. The furniture is like the wooden part for anyone who doesn't know guns. And I was like, man, I really like this. It's almost reddish purple, or I don't know, really appealed to my sense of style. I thought it was cool. But I'm like, this gun is not worthy of this outfit. You can't have it. Set, play.
So I'm going to say, any weapons on you? No. I'm going to say we were Sophie the whole time. Okay. So if you want this to go well, I recommend you have a talk with us, okay? Okay, cool.
He's already out of breath.
Standing there.
Let's go have a talk. How about on that bench right there? Okay.
Dude, that other guy's covered in catching pedophiles. Hard work.
Hard work.
And I know I joined
a fist bump.
so I know that feeling, honestly.
Okay, so
He's like, what, no knuckles?
any of the messages right here. I have 84 messages. Okay. So we have you talking to Sophie. Correct? Yes or no? Right. Okay. Sophie is how old? Before, and again, I have it right here. I know the answer, but I just need you to tell me the answer. How old is she? 13. 13. Okay. Right. And before we get into the messages, there was sexual content involved. Yes or no? Right. And you sent. Correct. Right. Okay. All right. So
it's like he's trying to move past it.
Again, so what brings you out here today?
Right. Agreed.
Well, I was coming out here to.
Glasses off.
Glasses off.
Oh, man. He is really taking instruction well.
Pick up a cupcake. And then
I
go
believe
back
it.
Home. There was,
cover.
Nothing that was going to be sexual involved because I'm not like that. Well, obviously the text messages and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Except for that evidence you got there.
That was.
I mean, homie's standing there with a load of papers, though, like that.
You should title the video instead of your video almost through hands of a 13-year-old. You should title your video almost with a 13-year-old. I think that'll get a lot of hits, EDP.
I think so.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Quick question.
So who is this guy?
All
right, can we pause? It's like
ready, set, pause.
141.
Yeah,
right.
140.
Who's the guy in the blue shirt?
Okay, so
he seems to be the head of the
he's our Chris Hansen wannabe, right? Like
okay.
I don't remember the name. There was actually a name for the group or the association that he is with. They are some sort of established thing.
Predator Poachers.
Predator Poachers. See? So
that would make sense. The search is EDP 445 Predator Poachers. All right.
Yeah, this is the head poacher himself.
Okay.
And is that an assistant poacher?
This is Rascal McGovern's head poacher at PredatorPoachers.org.
Please tell me his name is Rascal McGovern.
Rascal McGovern, that's his name.
Dude, that's a great name.
I know, right? Off the top of my head.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Dude, that's good. I'm gonna make a character named Rascal McGovern.
I was
Rascal McGovern's here.
To be Rascal McGovern's. I was really ready for that. I quite liked
that's
it.
his fucking name. It's crazy.
I mean, a guy named Rascal absolutely either is a pedophile or works to catch them.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's both. It's literally both.
Know?
He used to be one.
He's like Dexter, where he goes in and learns how to not get caught.
Yeah.
Like, man, you know, this pedophile Dexter isn't nearly as likable as the murderer.
like he acquires all of his child pornography by catching and killing other child pornographers. That way, it's on the it's okay. So, well, I mean,
I don't think
Showtime's was just sitting
green like that one. I don't think Showtime's
No.
going to give the blessing for that.
Yeah,
shit.
Can you imagine the little montage at the beginning instead of him
it's a cum
making
splatter analysis?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that's even better. He's a cum splatter analyst.
No, this.
Oh, God.
He was standing across the room from the 8-year-old. Oh, he's done.
This man had some lock and load. This is an enormous.
All right. Well, we need to check and see.
Are we all queued up? Golden?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Ready, set, play.
And they decided to screenshot the shit and record it and all this extra bullshit and fucking look at him being a pedophile. Bro, let me tell you something, dog, okay?
Let's hear it.
Do you honestly think, right?
Right.
And I don't even know why I'm explaining myself to people, but unfortunately, niggas are fucking retarded.
Can't use that word.
Do you honestly think that through all the bullshit I've been through, you know what I mean?
Wendy's taking away the Baconator.
And finally being able to move out.
The rib witch going away again.
Every year, big rib trauma.
Rates, you know what I mean?
Dude, the Cowboy Whopper
I have
leaving for
great,
the summer.
beautiful, loving, caring goddamn friends. I
All
have
his
two
problems are
fucking
limited edition burgers
goddaughters
going
who
away.
are some of the most adorable fucking things ever. You know what I
Ooh,
mean?
shouldn't call his
Spoil their ass
goddaughters
riding.
adorable
I
anymore.
just dropped 60 grand up on a fucking car. Do you honestly think that I would sit back
Now he's
and
flexing.
throw away my life for something punk ass that barely even has fucking hair on her motherfucking pussy? For a fucking that probably doesn't even, for a bitch that probably never even heard of the fucking Pythagorean theorem. Bitch that probably
not how
can't
you
even
say
count
that.
up to 100, my nigga. The fuck here?
Wait,
Fuck
she can
that
count to
shit,
100.
dude.
That's
like,
not cool.
Come on, nigga, for
The
real?
Pythagorean theorem?
For real.
Is that
Dude,
what he
he-
said?
think so.
And if
He's-
you
he's
motherfuckers
the
thought
A
I was
squared
serious
plus B
about
squared
this
equals
shit,
C squared.
fuck you, man. I'm sorry, dude. Like, you motherfuckers need Jesus.
Do you have a weapon?
Like,
What does he have there?
Y'all
Is it a
should
vacuum
do
cleaner?
something, man.
That's what
Like,
I thought I
just-
saw.
I thought I
that
saw the
is
bottom of a
fucking
12 gauge.
beyond
Shotgun.
motherfucking sad if you niggas honestly think
I
like,
hope
He's gonna hold it up.
He's got a shotgun.
You're right.
Oh, God.
He's making a statement with that. Dude,
Well, watch out, Chet Goldstein.
that is
Oh,
the
don't worry
worst
about this. He's
defense.
loaded with Twinkies.
I've seen a lot of people use that defense. UFC fighters when they're getting caught, like, do you honestly think that after getting caught for steroids, I would do steroids again? Really? Like, who would do that? That's too stupid.
You
So
must think I'm stupid.
that's the defense he used. And it's like, yes, I think actually you're more likely to do it having been caught the first time.
Because you're an idiot.
Because you're the kind of person that does that.
So Rascal himself, like these clips came out of him, and in one of them, he's in like a Walmart, appeared to be streaming, and he's like making little jokes, right, with some like shopper there about how he has a 3-year-old in his basement with a vitamin D deficiency. And he goes, yeah, he's like, maybe he's even buying vitamin D and that's why he's making the joke. But he's like, yeah, she's got a vitamin D deficiency, but not a D deficiency, if you know what I mean. And the lady's like, oh, that's not cool. and he's just like, hey, I was a virgin. I wanted to lose my virginity. What am I going to do? You know? And he's like basically like joking around about having a 3-year-old sex slave in his basement. Pretty edgy stuff for a Walmart conversation with a stranger. But you know, I guess I can like not judge that too harshly. It's like, all right, you made a real blue joke. Didn't really get any laughs. Probably shouldn't be doing that in public. Like maybe if like you're in a situation like this here, like where we are, you could make some sort of nasty joke like that.
Everybody else in self-checkout in that position. Just buy your food and leave.
Yeah, it was weird. And then there's another clip where he's like streaming with this other guy, and they've got this awful like upward facing angle because they're clearly like holding a cell phone like down here and like looking down at the phone, and they both look like such creeps. And he's dropping N-bomb after N-bomb, and it's not in a referential way, because I think if you're referencing something, you should absolutely be able to say the N-word. If you're like, yeah, a fight got started last night, well, the white guy called the black guy, and then I feel like you could say it then. I guess you can't, but at least in that situation, yeah, like I won't say it,
it's
but
obviously different relaying a story in that way than it is you maliciously saying that to a black person.
I agree with what you're saying. What he did to me,
I haven't seen the video. I need to find
I'll tell you about it. I almost give him that shock jock pass, that comedian pass a little. Well, what he had done is he called a Black Lives Matter hotline, and then while calling Black Lives Matter, while streaming it, trying to put on some sort of show, he made a bunch of homophobic, racist, and pedophilia jokes and slurs and shit like that. Is it good? No. It's mean. It's a whole problem. But it's also not exactly the we caught him in a candid moment that people put it out to be.
So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about him live streaming in that gross angle and being like, and somebody's like, oh, hang on, that's what you're saying is racist. And him being like, yeah, you're probably just an angry N-word. You're an N-word, you fat N-word. Like he's throwing malicious N-words out.
Oh, that is like
Chet.
catching him in a candid moment.
And well, it's not candid. He's fucking live streaming to his phone, you know. It's like
he's live streaming.
Yeah, this is a live stream he's doing, and he's just he's laughing and using the N-word in a malicious, hateful way, attacking people with it. And like he drops like 4 of them in a row, and his buddy's laughing about it, and he's dropping them too, and they both look like the worst examples of white people you've ever seen. Is his buddy the one that
was in the EDP video?
No.
Different
now
buddy.
I want to be clear that guy seems to be all in the clear. His partner that was in that video seems like a decent guy who's just been kind of caught in the crossfire between a shit picture taking pedophile and a racist, homophobic white dude who wanted to cash in on his expose. And then then there was one more clip of him like doing some borderline shit. There were several. Anyway, he's been deleted. They took his YouTube channel away, I believe. So EDP and Rascal have been demonetized.
An hour and 20-minute stream of him calling BLM hotlines and saying the N-word. I was for a clip to get caught up of like I was expecting like a 30-second clip, an hour and a feature children's film. I'll say,
yeah,
an hour and 19 minutes. I'm not watching all that.
yeah. They are talking about banning menthol cigarettes. Did you see that?
I did.
Where the whole country or what?
The whole country.
Yeah,
the
executive
FDA.
order.
Really? Oh, that won't.
And they're saying it's a racist idea because 80% of black smokers smoke menthols.
The second I heard it, I thought it was a what is it, like parental but dad? It's also a P word. What is it? It's not maternal. Paternal.
Paternal?
I thought it was like a paternal sort of action to prevent black people from hurting themselves. And it is a little racist to be like, you know what? We need to protect black people from tobacco.
What's the rationale of it?
Well, no, it's certainly the rationale certainly has to be that menthol cigarettes are akin to the flavored cigarettes that are already banned, because I remember there being chocolate cigarettes and wanting them so much, and they banned them. If there were chocolate cigarettes out there, I'd be smoking one right now. That's why I would always get those really expensive fucking cigarillos when I was in Vegas, because you could get like these really sweet candy-like flavors like chocolate and peach and stuff. And I'm aware that Swisher makes those artificial flavored grape and peach nonsense. No, that stuff makes me sick to my stomach. These cigarillos were like soaked in like honey and like nectar of the gods, and they smelled and tasted like what they said on the label. But yeah, I think that's the deal, that they don't want something that's sort of masking the flavor and the effect of tobacco and nicotine to the lungs, because it makes cigarettes more smooth.
Yeah, they did the same thing with the vaporizers, like you said. Like those Juuls were so popular because the flavors were like creme brulee, and
mango.
You know, candy. Well, I was gonna say candy corn, but that wouldn't sell. You know, cotton candy, whatever it would be. And they literally got rid of it because it's like you're clearly marketing this to children. And so like they're clearly saying, oh, menthol's not just a type of cigarette. That's another flavor. You just got to use Virginia tobacco flavor in all your cigs, all your. I don't know how. Immediately, people would find a way around it, and they would make like the tiniest little fast smoking cigarillos that had like menthol or something. Like they would figure something out.
I'm reading the FDA the press announcement, and so Kyle's right. By and large, it's a flavor, and they're saying, look, we banned flavored cigarettes, so we're going to ban menthol flavor too. But I'm not wrong either. For far too long, certain populations, including African Americans, have been targeted and disproportionately impacted by tobacco use. Despite the tremendous progress we've made in getting people to stop smoking, that progress hasn't been experienced by everyone equally. These flavor standards would reduce cigarette and cigar initiation and use, etc. They're basically saying black people are smoking menthols, so we got to get rid of menthols. They're being targeted and
they're saying that black people are smoking more than white people. I've never once
black
heard
people smoke menthols more than white
they're
people.
being disproportionately impacted by this target, I guess.
Are menthols worse for you than regular cigarettes?
I don't believe so. The menthol is about masking the effect of tobacco and nicotine. It tastes better and it's smoother on your lungs.
Yeah, like that's what it's. That's a weird rationale.
Did you see Joe Rogan told people not to get the COVID vaccine? Not everyone, but I guess he was saying, like, are you healthy? If you are, do you not have any, like, obesity problems or asthma problems? Don't get the vaccine. Why is this a controversial opinion? Just don't get it. Like, you'll fight it off. You'll be okay. And he's getting a lot of heat for it. Fauci's commented on it. The White House issued a statement about it. Imagine being that
on Joe Rogan. That's hilarious,
dude.
Issuing a statement on Joe Rogan.
Okay, on one hand, I hear you. On the other hand, he's legitimately that big. Like, you've also gone on.
It's funny to imagine the Fear Factor guy where the president, someone's like, "All right, we're gonna make a Joe Rogan address, the annual Joe Rogan address."
Yeah, the guy who says he looks like two thumbs with the thumb or something. But like, shit, who has a broader media reach than Joe Rogan on Earth right now?
At this point, maybe nobody. Like Stern's probably dropped way off. If anybody's up there, maybe it's Stern. I don't even know.
I was gonna be like, is a Hannity or Carlson that big?
No, their numbers aren't doing. If just doing like month over month numbers, I guess the closest would be Tucker or Hannity, or probably actually, one of those two. I don't know who's bigger between Tucker and Hannity, but whoever they would be the closest. Okay, then Tucker would be the closest to him, but even then, like net Rogan is putting up ridiculous numbers. Like, and
you're sure? Because you don't think that maybe Tucker gets undercounted because we're comparing live numbers and not all his YouTube replays and insanity.
That's fair. Yeah, I wouldn't even with like digital and everything. It's hard to quantify all of the different mediums and then aggregate them. But yeah, if there's someone who's close to him, it's probably like Tucker. Yeah.
Okay. In any case,
Sean Hannity.
Yeah, we were saying the big guys.
He's so big, Rogan, that like it is crazy that his platform is so powerful. And when he tells people not to take the COVID vaccine, it's not insane for the White House to issue a rebuttal.
He already made a comment saying he's clarifying it. Or what? You can't even. I don't really go. He can't put any of his full videos up here anymore, can he?
Not full
everything's
videos,
Spotify.
No. Yeah, but this little
thing. I haven't listened to anything of his in a long time.
I watched it on Twitter. I heard what he said. And it was basically like, hey, if you're young and you're healthy, you shouldn't get the COVID vaccine. That he doesn't know what's in it. He doesn't trust vaccines, I guess. He's a little anti-vaxxer. And COVID's not that dangerous, so just don't get the vaccine. But
the failed heist video where that dude is driving that van,
yes,
like he's out of fucking Fast and the Furious. He looks like a driving instructor from high school. He looks super nerdy.
He looks like the sniper from TF2.
Oh, I saw this. Yeah,
and he's just like.
And you see, so it's this like, the skinny white guy is like doing the driving, and then there's this like black soldier next to him, and it is so funny to watch that guy's face because he is not down or not trained for whatever is happening. And this other guy is, and at one point the guy in the passenger seat like tries to hand the driver his gun, and the driver's like, "What? I'm trying to
the black guy gets out his handgun, and the white guy's like, no. Get the AR-15, and like hands him the big gun, and he's like, all right, bandit. And he's just like, he's Fast and the Furiousing it, and they like try to like make a roadblock, and they get out with guns. He drives straight through them. They have to like dive out of the way. He's totally willing to run these people down on the interstate. I love that man. I would love to talk to him. What a badass.
Yeah. Did you gather what country it was?
It looks like Mexico to me.
Okay. Yeah, I interpreted it as farther south, but I'm not sure.
I'm trying to find the video of it. I don't know.
Oh, I've got it right here.
But it's really neat. You can't really tell because you can't see the surrounding area where he's turned. Oh, is there a camera on the front of his car also?
Yeah. You get both angles here.
Oh, I've only seen the version that showed the front camera.
I'm sure we can't watch this.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it on my own. It's only 45 seconds. That's really
it's actually on. I know these guys. This is Funker 530. These guys have filmed for me before. They've been to my house. Real nice guys. They're from Canada, and they do a lot of this like combat and veteran footage, YouTube stuff. I don't know how they monetize it.
What country are they in as this is happening? Is this the U.S.?
Oh shit! I just saw the part Kyle was talking about. He aimed for them. There's like a roadblock, and 2 lanes are open, and he swerves towards the bad guys to run them down with his truck.
Yeah, and he's just like, "Oh, really? Roadblocking me, eh? Have some of this, boys!" And he tries to run them down. It's great.
Yeah, he's clearly very well trained in the.
The black guy looks so scared.
Yeah, the black guy is like day one,
and then he like hits the ranger on purpose. Clearly, as it tries to come by him, it like I don't know what he's got in that truck that's so valuable
Cash.
To him.
Is it cash?
Yeah, this is someone's trying to rob them, right?
That's what I thought, but I didn't know what he had.
Are they in like a Brinks truck kind of thing?
I thought so.
That's my guess.
How much money do they have in those Brinks trucks? Like, how much do you think on that? A couple $100,000, millions?
Couple $100,000, I would guess.
Is it
like
irreplaceable?
It depends like what day it is, right? And what they're up to that day. Like they could be fulfilling like a special order. Like maybe a bank is like, oh, we need $500,000 cash to do this transaction we're doing. And like it's added to the regular thing where they're stopping by bank after bank after bank, picking up deposits. And if you get them at the end of their route, like maybe they've got close to $1 million cash in there. I don't know.
I don't know how it, but like people put way.
I don't think we're supposed to know
in their like safety deposit boxes. So if they're moving like that content around, it could be jewels and things.
Well, they need cash to like do stimulus. Like if
how do you rob a Brinks truck? Do people ever get away with robbing like a Brinks truck? You would think you'd see that on the news occasionally.
I think that stuff happens and they don't put it on the news on purpose.
Yeah, you think I made my money at a Minecraft website?
What if he's got 3 rusted out Brinks trucks in the woods right his house? It's like, I hope they buy this Minecraft shit. Why did you build your house in Nazi gold?
They've got Woody in an interrogation room, bright lights on him. How do you tame a horse in Minecraft? He's like, I don't know.
I think you give them apples.
What about Tess Holliday? Does she count as a celebrity? Because I saw that she was talking about anorexia. I'm thinking maybe her anorexia will come back,
dude,
and that she'll starve herself to death.
Did you guys see here? I have the tweet in front of me. She wrote on Twitter, "I'm anorexic and in recovery. I'm not ashamed to say it out loud anymore. I am the result of a culture that celebrates thinness and equates that to worth. But I get to write my own narrative now. I'm finally able to care for a body that I've punished my entire life, and I am finally free." This poor woman is the result of a culture that celebrates thinness and equates that to worth. That's why she's anorexic. Tess Holliday.
She's 700 pounds. Did you get that part? She's the size of she
absolutely dominated anorexia.
His fat mother-in-law, he's talking about her. She's been in recovery. She's in recovery for everybody, for all the anorexics. She's like the Jesus of anorexia. She was in recovery for them all.
It's like it turns out being underweight is only one of the symptoms of anorexia. And she has like all the others, like a bad relationship with food and I don't know all that. But I'm like,
I have a bad relationship with food.
You're anorexic.
We all do if we overeat.
I don't know. I'm an idiot. I'm trying to like make sense of something that doesn't make sense in the slightest. She doesn't have anorexia.
I would imagine somebody who's gone through like really devastating anorexia might see something like that and be like, "What?
You know who actually
Are you serious? Because I weighed 65 pounds when I was 21. Yeah. And I was on death's door. They had to like show me a mirror and be like, "You need to gain weight. You're dying. Your bones are falling apart." Like,
and not bulimia.
The girls who actually are like, I beat anorexia are usually yoked. They're usually like they usually like turn to like bodybuilding and stuff like that. They just like pack on pounds and pounds of muscle so they can continue to and like they're fucking, they got protein farts. Like these women are fucking pounding food away now. It was this link right here that made me laugh.
Jesus Christ. What the fuck? He's looking pretty good in this picture.
Someone just signed it. Someone else just signed.
Frank Hassel signed this petition.
Wait, Frank Hassel made a petition.
I just saw that.
Boogie the death penalty.
Dude, the signatures are rolling in.
It's getting like a signature a second.
Literally like 5,000. They're gonna kill him.
This is coincidental. Literally, someone is pushing this. Like, we're not doing this live, obviously. We're recording this right now. But someone is literally pushing this right now. This just happened that someone is pushing this and it's getting these signatures.
It's gone up 10 signatures since you brought it
More.
up.
Yeah.
That's gift booking.
So quickly, for those who don't know, there was the incident where a gentleman by the name of Frank Hassel showed up at Boogie's house to sissy hypno him. Something that we don't condone. We just don't like the idea of forcible sissy hypnosis. It's got to be consensual sissy hypnosis. That's the only kind that I will co-sign. So Boogie, long story short, came outside with a handgun, fired a warning shot, and I guess charges have been brought against him by the local authorities. And it would seem, like we saw on PKA, that maybe the charge is aggravated assault. And we looked into the exact definition of aggravated assault, because to me, aggravated assault is when you do bodily harm to someone with like grievous intent, like that. That's what it sounds like to me, or with a deadly weapon. You know, like when you not only hit somebody, but you hit to hurt.
Right.
But
because there's regular
like,
assault too. It's a lesser.
But apparently, like, because he had a deadly weapon, and because like it could cause the fear of death, that's enough to meet the criteria. I don't know if that's going to hold up in a courtroom or whatever, or if they're even going to pursue it.
Pled down. I'm not sure, but you know,
yeah. It just seems like the sort of thing where like it ends up being simple assault or reckless discharge of a firearm, or maybe nothing. You know, who knows? But in any case, Boogie turned himself in, I suppose, and I believe this image we're seeing here is the mugshot of him in you know, like that county jail, local police department, whatever it may be. And so Frank here, I didn't realize it was Frank until you pointed it out, has created a petition to give him the death penalty that now has 3,300 signatures.
Boogie's not the bad guy in this situation.
He's not. As of May 13th, 8:08 p.m., there are 3,300 signatures exactly. So you guys can kind of keep an eye on that.
Look, I would have at least expected him to smile in his mugshot. Like, show those teeth.
They don't let you sometimes, right?
Oh, they'll let you. You can do whatever you want.
I didn't know that. I thought.
Huh. Can you? So is change.org? You can just make anything. You can just be like,
does it look like the standards are very high?
Person to death penalty, and you could just. And then I just checked Frank Hassel's Twitter. Yeah, he tweeted it out. It's got like 1,000 retweets and 5,000 people. Like, so clearly it's being driven from there largely. But
Boogie's so hated right now. It
seems
undeserved. Why is Boogie so hated? What did he do?
I think I don't even know if this is a hatred thing. The vibe is that it's people memeing on it. That's I haven't followed it super close, but I'm not seeing many comments like "fucking Boogie getting what he deserves." It's more like, dude, this is like long ridiculous.
The internet turned on Boogie like a year or two ago, something like that, and I think that's not helping him in this situation. No, it doesn't matter. The courts won't care that the internet's mad at Boogie, but. You know, like why this has so many signatures, I think that's related to it. You know, that they felt he was
the district attorney. He's like, Your Honor, I would just like to point out this petition. Over 800,000 people have signed it to give this gentleman the death penalty.
Well, this is my last day in office, and I've always wanted to set an outrageous precedent to death.
Hang him high.
I'm going to refresh this.
Homicide by change.org. It could be coming to a neighborhood near you.
Dude, like Kyle, Israel, I find to be a similar thing. Like what is happening over there? What did the Palestinians do that have the Israelis going bonkers, just like bombing the fuck out of him and mowing down the houses? And it always seems like Israel's the bad guys, yet they're America's good guys. Why do we give them billions in aid all the time? How does that help America? Is it
it doesn't help us at all. What the fuck? It's a world away. What are we doing over there? Like it's just so far. We have so many problems we need to deal with here in our own country, and it's like we're still fucking around a world away. No,
I saw this video from like the 80s of Joe Biden talking about this. Joe Biden, who had like a fair bit of brown hair covering his head, right? This is the 80s Joe Biden, about how great Israel was for America, and that if there wasn't an Israel, we would have to create an Israel, and it's the best $3.6 billion we spend every year. And what he didn't say was why. Why?
So he was probably taking money from the foreign lobby.
That sounds reasonable to me. Like it. Why is Israel such a? Why are they our allies? They always seem like the bad guys. And it's like, oh, we need a foothold over in the Middle East. How come? You know, we're energy independent now.
Don't we have an alliance with Saudi Arabia, which is way more significant strategically over there than Israel? Like, so that never made sense to me either.
I don't get it. And then they're literally an apartheid state. They have different laws based on your race. They like.
You won't find me saying a bad word about Israel. Stay strong, Israel.
That's because Kyle is a secret member of Mossad. Is it the FPSRussia? No, FPS Israel from Mossad.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a hot potato. The problem is I'm not. It's what he said. And if anyone ever asks me my opinion on that one, it's like I don't think I'm educated enough to give a good have a good opinion or make a good statement on Israel.
I don't think any of us are, but it's like
real hot potato.
The most I feel like I can say like confidently is like, what are we doing over there? Like if it like whatever the reason is that we're there, it's clearly not benefiting American people. So we ran whatever experiment we're doing in the Middle East. Enough. Like
prior to energy independence, I might have been able to make a better argument than I can today. Now that we're energy independent,
we've got a global market for
somebody
oil.
else.
What happens over there does affect.
Whoever needs that oil can pay for their energy.
Makes sense because it's like, wait, so we spent 1,000 times more money to steal the oil than we could have bought it for. That doesn't make any sense. So we spent trillions of dollars over the years to secure oil, and we could have just bought it for cheap. And like, I don't know, the oil thing doesn't make any sense. Like Russia has oil, Canada has oil, we have oil. Like, it's not like it's just, a couple countries in the Middle East that have access to this shit.
I hear him complain about the woke military a lot. And then I saw a Go Army ad today. Have you seen that?
The girl? The girl?
Yeah. It starts off, there's this girl, and she's like, yeah, I was a little kid. I had 2 moms. And I heard it, and I'm like, oh, that's going to piss some people off, but, fuck them. I don't really care if you piss off jerks. And then the whole ad is about how wonderful it is to have 2 moms, how she was so blessed to have lesbian parents, and her lesbian mom showed such strength and power that she felt obligated to give back for the great upbringing she had by joining the army. And it's like, wow, you really drilled the mom thing hard. Like I think the end goal is for it to be like an unimportant detail of her childhood.
Look at this.
Not the central focus that she's owes for.
Look at the Go Army thing. The banner there, they say the calling, first of all, which is like awesome propaganda to get you into the army. And then like the group of people they have up there looks like, you remember the Burger King's club?
Did you look at the like-dislike ratio?
Oh, I haven't. I just went to the page. I haven't clicked on any of the videos yet.
Click on the Emma, the calling.
Emma.
All right, I'm on it. It's 947 up, 40,000 down.
Oh, they turned the comments off. Why?
Raised by 2 loving and inspiring mothers, Emma excelled in school, but as a college student, she realized the challenge she truly sought required a surprising new direction. See how our soldiers' lives could inspire your own.
Guys, the army is totally progressive. It's progressive to join the army and go fight overseas for interests that don't involve you. It's progressive.
I think maybe I'm a little more like I'll call woke tolerant than average, right? Maybe I'm a little.
I am too. I think I am too. Yeah.
And I, whenever I hear people fussing about woke, it's like, oh, shut up. You're just trying to be an asshole. This one, I feel like they're right. This isn't what an army ad should be.
I mean, we know people in the military.
Should the army be advertising?
I saw. I think it was on Twitter today. somebody juxtaposed that against a Russian ad for their military.
Okay.
And so this is, it's just, let me look it up. I gotta find it.
I imagine it's like
it was like these jacked
to kill real people.
Jack, just Russian tough guys in ice water, running through the snow naked, and then he showed this little girl, and it was, it's unfair comparison, but you can see how you can use that.
I found it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's literally what I'm watching.
So far,
right now.
I'm only 20 seconds in, but so far this commercial for China appears to be very serious about the military based on this commercial.
Yeah, it's called, if anyone wants to watch, it's Army Recruitment Ads, China versus Russia versus the USA. I'm on the China one right now. It's all like discipline, honor, service. Like it's all just fucking hardcore dudes standing still, fucking saluting, wearing their fucking gear, and then someone speaking in a very monotone kind of voice in Chinese. now we're transitioning to like the other branches. Like they're showing rockets and computer stations,
tanks, explosions,
medics, computer operators operating this big command center, missiles, artillery.
It's like Saving Private Ryan.
They're blowing shit up, shooting rockets from naval vessels, shooting crazy shit out of airplanes and helicopters, tanks going over the horizon, explosions and smoke, soldiers running along. It looks like a fucking action movie
looks
that
like a movie.
You want to watch.
Dude, 2 minutes it gets more hardcore. It switches over to Russians. And it's this guy, if I'm interpreting it right, he goes through his transformation where they shave his head and he becomes a soldier.
It's like a Halo ad. It's like the Halo ad when they're becoming fucking Master Chief.
Wait, I'm watching the Russian one right now. This sounds intense.
Yeah, he starts off as like back home, right? Got a girlfriend. He likes to play soccer. And now he wakes up and he's in and he's fucking ripped. He's fucking yoked.
He's jacked.
He's fucking suiting up, belt buckle, pants, zipped up, fucking berets. Now it's a bunch of shaved head dudes fucking cranking out push-ups and climbing walls.
Are we in trouble?
We're in trouble.
He jumps out of a plane that becomes a sniper. I don't know if snipers jump out of planes, but okay.
Dude, they look so hardcore. They've all got those dead eyes.
Now we're switching over to America.
And they speak in Russian, which is scary.
Dude, he did the walk away and don't look back when he landed in his parachute. Like he was like cuts the parachute like he's fucking Captain America and keeps going.
I'm on like 3 minutes, 9 seconds. There's an overweight woman who needs to lose like 15, 30 pounds.
Dude, the Russian one, it looks like it ends with
the American soldiers look soft as fucking cotton. They're showing these American soldiers, and they're literally fat women. This woman is not capable of delivering food for
These
DoorDash.
are our commercials. There are cartoons in it. There are cartoons in it.
Ours are animated like Saturday morning fucking cotton candy. I was going to use a bad word, but this is lame.
I don't know if I can. This is so cringe. I can't watch this.
Oh my fucking God.
We can't afford to get real explosions? Really?
It's a family now. It's a blue-eyed family. I can't believe there's a straight man in there.
What timestamp are you on?
Oh wait, that's a woman. Okay, it's a very butch woman.
It's a lesbian couple.
I was wrong. It's a I was like, oh look, it's a standard nuclear family being and then I realized that's a very butch woman. Okay.
Dude, this is so
they're holding love each other, respect everyone's signs. This is about killing. The Chinese are over. Oh my God, the Chinese.
Dude, China is not. I guarantee you, China and Russia
of rifles firing at one point. Like.
No, did we say 600 million?
I believe that's what you said. Yeah. I didn't double check, but that is an enormous sum of cash.
That is so much.
Was it dollars? Was it dollars or dollary dues or euros or pounds?
Pounds. He was rolling in it, right?
Pounds. You're really rolling.
Pounds
Euros
is even
too?
more than the euro.
Yeah, that's interesting though. I like for good things to happen to Conor McGregor. You know?
I do too. I like that. It's really
$600 million US, I think.
Holy shit, that's a lot of fucking money.
Like a whiskey thing is a natural pivot for him. Like he's Irish.
It works so well. It works so well.
Like, isn't this lion like one of his? Is this his tattoo?
That's his fucking tattoo, bro. Yeah. It's on his chest. It's huge.
Huh. That's cool.
I think it's a monkey.
So much money. I mean, second only to like Beats by Dre or something, with a guy taking his fame and leveraging it. And he just
Jordans
sold it. Yeah, sure.
Does he get paid for that? I mean, I know he gets paid for it, but it's not like they're like Jordans by Jordan. They're they're Nike Jordans. So
yeah, somehow like I feel like Jordan and Nike had this thing, but he didn't really sell it as much as he just played basketball and everyone wanted to be like him. And he wasn't doing press conferences about Jordans in the same way that Conor does, right?
Doing press conferences while drunk.
Well, Conor is just a master at marketing, right? Like he's out there fucking holding bottles. He talked some sort of magic into Dana White's ear that made like the events like they run Proper 12 commercials at the events, and I bet that deal is like a 2-3 year deal. And part of the money Conor made selling that company is that deal is already in place. It's like, yeah, you get the company, you get the stills, you get the facilities, you get the advertising rights.
If I'm Dana,
and also like you've got an ongoing deal with the UFC where they have to run your ads for the next 2 years.
Because I think Dana, like, I'm making this up, but I infer that he's doing it in lieu of paying him. Like if I'm Conor, it's like, you know what? I'll fight for $10 million and 10 minutes of ads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's,
and also like
that's the idea that's what I took from it as well.
That's better than 20 million. Okay.
I had it in my head that like his whiskey was like a side. Well, I know he sold it for so much, but originally I was like, it's gonna be some like $200 bottle of like Irish top of the line. No, it's like totally mid-range, affordable. It was marketed perfectly. It's got the price point to make a ton of money. Like this was genius from start to finish.
Yeah. His fan base aren't a bunch of fancy schmancy guys who are buying $200 bottles of scotch, right?
All you need is the 25 bottle that looks cool with like his tattoo on there. Oh, there's Conor. Oh, it's got a little fake signature on the back. Neat.
They're a bunch of violent Irishmen who like to watch him punch old men at bars, and they're like, I can afford a bottle of that. Let's go.
I heard it took something like a third of the market share from Jameson, and the amount of Jameson that gets sold. When I used to work as a bouncer in San Francisco, if somebody was drinking whiskey at a San Francisco bar, it was Jameson. If you graduate college, you have money, you're out getting fucked up trying to get some pussy, you're drinking Jameson, and you're drinking a lot of
martinis in a San Francisco bar.
How expensive is Jameson? It's
Jameson's the same price. I think it's the same price. It's low $20 per fifth.
I wonder.
I haven't had it in years.
Proper 12 is it worth much without Conor? Right? Like, how much can you sell the Howard Stern show for? Right? Let's say Howard's done working and he wants to sell the Howard Stern show. To me, it's not worth much. Maybe Kyle has an idea.
Well, see, because they still have his image.
I don't know this for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if he still is going to be getting paid to do their advertising for them and be in commercials for them.
Yeah, he's licensing his image on the bottle.
Like I bet either like part of his price was like, yeah, and you'll be in a commercial a year for us for the next 5 years, or maybe they're just like, hey, will you come back every 5 years and we'll renegotiate another price for you to do some commercials?
Kyle, I've got an article here about your favorite guy, and I didn't realize it was this intense. You sent me this one? Okay, well then basically. Remember when we all laughed at that video from Kevin Spacey when he made the thing right after he gets accused of rape and misdeeds by a lot of people? He's like pretending to be Mr. Underwood there on the TV, and what we're gonna do, folks, is kill him with kindness. As he's like cutting things up. Apparently, since that video aired like a year ago, 3 of his accusers have died. One of them died the day after that video went live where he said, we got to kill him with kindness. And so what the fuck is going on here? This seems like it's
QAnon, right?
Coincidence.
Is QAnon correct on this pedophile Hollywood and idiocy with the
Well, we do know that, like, I don't think you have to talk about QAnon shit to know there's a bunch of pedos in Hollywood. Definitely. Like, that's known. That's why, like, when a rapist comes out, all these other people are like, who have been in the industry for 30 years are like, everyone knew. And it's like, oh, okay. And now you're gonna hit the hashtag, and you've known for 25 years. Very cool. But
what pedos
like, this is
from
weird.
Kevin Spacey have been in Hollywood.
I mean, so many of the producers you hear about, the Weinstein shit, and Weinstein wasn't the only one.
Was he
like
a
lots
pedo,
of them.
Though? Weinstein was in my head. I just thought they were all adults.
By pedo, I shouldn't say pedo. I mean like sexual misconduct, rape, coercion into sex, things like that. There's a ton of that goes on.
Those in Hollywood are called fringe benefits.
That's the way they literally see it. That's the way Harvey Weinstein or whatever his name was.
As a casting director, I make $250,000 and 33 fucks a year.
Yeah, you gotta. Oh, you want to be fucking in this movie? Suck my dick. I know I'm fat and horrific, but you got to come up to my hotel room and do it. But Kevin Spacey doesn't even bother with that. Just eliminating the problem at the source. Apparently, Kevin Spacey is with 3 years or 1 year, 3 people who accused him died. That's so bizarre.
Did COVID come from a Chinese lab?
Maybe. Hard to say.
Isn't it?
There's two big parts of that though that people like to conflate a lot. So one is the idea that it's possible that there was like gain of function research being done. So the idea that you kind of like, my understanding is you like kind of meddle around with the virus to see how could it become more contagious, what could go wrong, etc. And that maybe some people got sick while studying this in a lab and then it got out that way. By the way, the evidence for this is still incredibly scant. This hasn't been like proven. It's not 100% anything like that. But then the second one that everybody was originally running with, they like pretend they weren't, was that China like intentionally, artificially engineered like a bioweapon virus in a lab and then released it to the world. So people like to use evidence for number one to say that number two happened, but even this first thing is still, it's something that should be looked into, although I don't know at this point if we'll ever truly know. But like the evidence right now was literally like 3 people were sick with flu-like symptoms that also worked in this lab for a while before it got like out and big or whatever. But even the sources on that are debated. Like even in the intelligence community, they weren't 100% sure if this was like viable or valid information or anything. So yeah.
What's more, I don't know. Are more people who are saying it's coming from the lab saying that it was released intentionally or that it was like it escaped at this point?
It's hard because nobody's really honest about what they think, but it feels like people feel like it's intentional. But I think they try to say, I don't know. People dance around with what their actual opinions are all the time.
Well,
but
they shouldn't have let it go in their own country.
Yeah.
That seems like a huge oversight if you were going to release it to hit your own country really hard.
Yeah, you'd think so, right?
I haven't looked into this.
People's belief systems line up along their political belief systems, right? Like if you voted for Trump, you most likely believe that this was an engineered thing that came from a lab and they had nefarious intent when they did it. And if you voted for Biden, you probably believe that it came from a bat and it was just an accident and nature just fucked up shit sometimes. And I'm over here like, shit, bro, the reason we didn't take you seriously is you were also saying that, like, there's pedophile lizards running the government, and you were saying Obama was from Kenya, and you were saying that, like, all these other wacky conspiracies that you were buying into, and then you said the Kung Fu flu was from a Wuhan lab, bundled in with all the other, like, lumps of bullshit you try to peddle, and of course no one took you seriously.
So apparently there's a fad with some people called dry scooping, where you take a scoop of pre-workout and then you take it without anything. And this OnlyFans stripper who works on OnlyFans and is like a physical stripper did that with like a dry scoop, and then was like, I was watching the video and she's like, felt like I was gonna fall apart. I felt like I was like everything, and then I got to work and I was about to go dance and my chest gets tight and my left side of my body goes numb. And it's then that I realized that I was having a heart. And she's like in her 22 years old. And she just, I guess, dry dosed 350 milligrams of caffeine, which I guess hits you differently than if you drink.
Only 250.
That says 350 here.
They're lying.
Well, do you want? I looked up the product. It's 350.
I'm looking at the product too. Redcon Total War.
Yeah. Now go down to the bottom. Don't just look at the top ingredient of caffeine. There's anhydride. There's 2 different kinds. There's one that's 250 milligrams and one that's 100 milligrams. So it's a total of 350 milligrams.
Well, shit.
Bispinga. Yeah.
Was that Bispinga?
Yes.
At the moment, there's like a big gambling kick. So I'm like gambling and doing crypto stuff. So
are you figuring out
crypto and gambling the same thing?
I mean, yeah, they're similar.
What kind of
I invest in a lot of the like shit coins, right? Like a lot of the you put money in and then you sell in like 20 minutes when it pumps.
Are you making money?
Oh yeah, make tons.
Huh.
Is it hard to do? Do you need to be smart to make money?
No, you can just be a fucking dumbass. You have to be kind of a dumbass to do it because you put your money in and you could just lose it immediately. But for me, it seems like you can tell which ones are like going to scam you and which ones aren't. So you just get the ones that aren't going to scam you, and then it's going to pump. So basically, you get in. There's like this bunch of groups out there and Reddit and bullshit, and they post this coin is about to launch, and then you buy it, and then it pumps up. And then you fucking sell it before it goes back down.
Huh.
So when you say you're making tons of money, how much is a ton of money?
I mean, right before this started, I made like $1,200 on $300 investment. I put $300. Yeah, typical. I put $300 in, and then it only took me like 4 minutes to make $1,200.
It took me 4 minutes. What are we doing, guys? We missed all of these boats.
Bro, it's great.
In the Discord, Ava was the other day was trying to get some Bitcoin for PayPal because she wanted to invest in something called, what was it? Jizz coin?
That's a shit coin. That's a jizz coin.
I think it's called Jizz coin.
We got a lot of shit. Anything with like Elon Musk or like cum on it, you want to buy that shit.
Wait, it's called cum coin?
No. It's called Jizz coin. And like the individual coins are called cummies.
Oh yeah, cummies. I actually had some cummies.
She's like, I
actually have some cummies.
I've already got like 100 cummies, but I want 500 more cummies. And if I could just get some more cummies today, it's gonna pop off.
See, that's where